anyway, you want to get into Bitcoin stuff now?
Yeah, do you want to kick off Bitcoin?
Well,
So I'm looking at it now, and it's gone through the roof just this week.
I think I saw this morning it was up to 9,000.
Yeah. At the beginning of the year, it was $800.
I feel like there's a article I had seen about it yesterday.
$9,000, $4,000, $60.
That's crazy. Well, I think you should probably kick it off. Because I still think, even though I've done interviews and people can look through the interviews playlist and find these, I believe there were 3 interviews separately I did on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
I don't think that there's much point like boring people to shit about what Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
So what
that's why I was just saying they can check those old interviews if they want to get into that.
I think most people will know. But what the idea is I wanted to talk about all these YouTubers that are on Bitconnect and USI Tech, and just decide whether it's a Ponzi scheme or whether it's actually for real, whether these are sustainable, or whether it's the biggest Bitcoin heist that's going to happen.
And these things are kind of newer incarnations in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what the idea is you go on these web pages, whether it's Bitconnect or USI Tech, you give them like $50, they hold that $50, and apparently they trade on your behalf. You just don't have to worry about anything. You just give them your $50, and then they'll pay you like 1% a day. And then what the idea is that you sign people up, and then when you sign people up, you'll get like a percentage of what money they put in. So it means like they'll say, oh well, we don't need salespeople, we don't need recruitment. It just keeps our costs low if we do it like that. But there's no actual proof that they actually do any trading. They don't have a white paper for their coin. It's like, is it a cult or is it a good way to make a little bit of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
How long will they last? Is it a cult?
Well, I was going to say, I think some of the fervor and belief in Bitcoin.
The websites look exactly the same. Like Bitconnect looks exactly the same as USI. You just think it could well be the same people building it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is when you join these sites, you have to upload a profile picture of your face holding your passport, so all the numbers are readable on your passport. And then a photo of your bank statement. If you don't mind me saying, surely that's risky as fuck.
Yeah. Well, depending on who these companies are, and the payout systems and everything. I mean, I guess that's supposed to make you believe that they are trading, because it has to.
Well, whoever built that web page, it's full on. Like, it's a decent web page. The security on it's ridiculous, because you would have thought like places like Bitconnect and USI Tech would be like hyper for hackers. Like they'll just go mental for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You want to get into the pros and cons of them, though? Because, like, when we had talked privately yesterday, we were saying people hear about Ponzi schemes and they automatically get nervous when there's lots of things like stock markets and everything like that, and even the currencies in general kind of are Ponzi schemes. And based on it, like a confidence game and stuff like that. And you just need to know when to get in and get out. I mean, the thing I think is interesting is most of the things in which you can say about this Bitconnect and USI Tech thing is equally applicable towards Bitcoin itself in a general way. Where I found a...
Well, hang on, how's Bitcoin in the same way?
Well, it's propped up on belief. You know, like any other
No, no, no,
currency.
no, 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 it's not. It's backed up on the fact that you've got a blockchain, so you can actually see the transactions real. That gives you security, but also it's backed up on electricity and computer power.
And that's,
So it is backed by something.
but
The confidence isn't just there because, oh, we're confident. It's because they have got the technology in there, which is the blockchain. And the blockchain has to be processed by electricity.
Listen to this, though. Yeah, but those are factors against it. Here's an article on Natural News where John McAfee said, and McAfee's for Bitwig, but I don't think he realized the implications of what he is saying. He said, however, sir, you called Bitwig a fraud. I'm a Bitcoin miner. We create Bitcoins. It costs over $1,000 per coin to create Bitcoin. What does it cost to create a US dollar? Which one is the fraud? Because the dollar costs whatever the paper costs, but it costs me and other miners over $1,000 per coin. It's called proof of work. Now, the problem with McAfee's explanation, of course, is this admits Bitcoins can only be created through the practice of computational wheel spinning operations where the difficulty and duration of the wheel spinning is artificially made needlessly complex by the Bitcoin algorithm in a world where Bitcoins used to be created for less than 1 penny's worth of computational worth. A single Bitcoin now requires over $1,000 worth of artificial work to be created. A rational person must ask, McAfee, why did Bitcoins used to cost just a penny to create, and now they cost $1,000? The 100,000 times increase in complexity for generating Bitcoin turns out is an artificial work algorithm known as computational difficulty in mining. And it basically says it's like digging ditches just to fill them back in. It's not nothing. The amount of computer power being used and everything like that the emission is shocking. If Bitcoin drops below 1,000, mining now becomes unprofitable, rendering a very large part of the entire Bitcoining mining infrastructure instantly obsolete. The only thing keeping Bitcoining mining profitable right now is the bubble pricing of the Bitcoin itself, because all bubbles eventually burst. Bitcoin mining will sooner or later reach the point where it's not worth the investment in hardware, electricity, or time in order to produce them. And it's basically saying that just because a computer is spinning, like the idea that Bitcoin has value to it is like saying that a kid running an Xbox playing a first-person shooter should have value with it because a computer is simply running. There's nothing to show at the end of the day for this algorithm. So that's where it's based on confidence. Yeah, there's work being done, but
no, because it's made some giant mistakes. I think it's made some giant mistakes in what it's saying. And to me, they're really obvious mistakes. So the first one is if you go to London, you go to Canary Wharf, and you look at all the not skyscrapers, but all our large tower buildings like HSBC, Barclays, Santander, they own those massive towers. Well, the reason they've got massive towers is because they're filled to the brim of supercomputers, and they're having to do transactions in the same way that Bitcoin has to do it.
Yeah, but the thing is again.
So when he's saying, "Oh well, cash does," well, yeah, we're using the same principle because the idea that the transactions have to be processed by someone has a value in it.
Well, he's talking.
So hang on, let me finish. So the idea that it's artificial work is complete and utter nonsense because it's not artificial work. There is work.
The mining is.
Yeah, exactly. Mining is actually work. To say it's artificial work, I don't understand
what
it means.
But when you actually...
Hang on. Someone has to put that computer... They have to buy the computer. They have to turn it on.
Yes, but that's what he's saying, though, is at some point, though...
That's not artificial work.
So then how come you can't generate Bitcoins by running an Xbox? Do you see that analogy? It's saying just because this machine is running doesn't mean that there's something that it's not. There's not a product. That's the other point in the article where it says. Let me get to where it says Here's 7 simple, self-evident questions that every Bitcoin holder should be asking themselves. First question: Apple produces iPhones. Amazon produces fulfillment services. What does Bitcoin produce? Bitcoin's value has increased 350% in the last 12 months. What has Bitcoin introduced in that time period that
Well,
would
let's just
justify...
do one at a time, because you can't. Let's not throw like loads. Let's just do one at a time. So the first one is, how can you justify it when there's nothing there, right?
Well, when all it is just wheel spinning. Like, again, if you're actually mining something and you're pulling out gold, you're pulling out gold. This is mining, and all it's still creating is just ones and zeros.
No, it's
in
not.
in the system.
No, because what's happening, I mean, I'm going to sound like such a fucking idiot, but people don't, I don't want to get into why people don't have confidence with I think we can agree that people don't have any confidence in centralized banking whatsoever. And the other problem you've got with centralized banking is that everyone's got a different currency and a different currency rate. And then you've got the problem of not earning any money on the money when it's in the bank. So the idea of Bitcoin having confidence is that if you put your money in it, one of the reasons that it costs so much is the more people use Bitcoin, the harder it is to to mine the Bitcoin, which is a good thing. So the more people that spend it, instead of the current, so when you get more dollars in circulation, your $10 becomes worth less. Because more people are spending on Bitcoin and it gets it harder to produce, it means the more people that spend and use Bitcoin, the more your wallet goes up. So in a way, I mean, I'm not explaining this very well, because you don't have the barriers of trading currency. Like if I want to go to America, I have to get dollars and I have to pay a fee on it. I can just be my own bank. And I can pay you what I need to pay you. I can do it anonymously. I can have a blockchain for the confidence of it. So the stuff that there's nothing behind it, I'm not just saying that there's nothing behind it. I get that it's risky because, you know, it's based on confidence, but I don't see what's wrong with it. I don't see why that's a problem, because the confidence, again, is in the technology. You have to put that technology is fuck expensive. If you look at the mining facilities in Iceland, you need a lot of money to set up.
But
so if you can join a pool, so say the computer costs 10 grand to stick in there, and you can get a pool of like 20 of your mates to pay into that, then you've got a money generating machine. You've got a machine that prints money for you.
But it's at the end of the day, computation alone doesn't equal real world value. It's like Steve Quayle, you know, Steve Quayle said, and the quote's in here, like, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. Like that's like the one of the realities of the situation. If you know, it's using tons of electricity and tons of resources and computing this complex algorithm to what? I mean, that's at the end of the day, again, at mining, you're pulling something out of the mountain. Yeah, you can pull this out as money, but as you're saying, you explain that
demand for it, and you're fulfilling demand.
But you explain the Ponzi scheme aspect of it, I think inadvertently, with as you said, the more people that get into it, the more it will be valued, the more everything like that. But then once it ends up where the cost of creating it is so much that it's no longer plausible for people to just kind of hop into it and stuff.
What I would say, if I was to make that argument, I would write that off, and I would say, look, the actual problem with Bitcoin is if people don't accept it as a payment, and because it fluctuates so much, because we went from $800 now to $9,000, a lot of businesses don't want to touch it because it's constantly fucking changing. It's too volatile.
Yeah.
So until people actually accept it, it's very difficult to spend. And that could be what causes the bubble, is unless Amazon starts taking it, unless Lamborghini starts taking it, you're just going to get what I'm doing, what I'm suggesting people do, which is just hoard it. And then you're right. Then it has no value, because in order for it to have its value,
it has to be moving. It
has to become a currency.
The other thing too,
that is built from nothing. I'm not giving it that, but I will give it that until people start accepting it, it won't have.
The other thing too, and this is probably why they need the picture of your passport and everything like that, is it also mentions in this article, it says, on top of it all, Bitcoin clearly isn't a store of value, and recent research by Princeton scientists found Bitcoin isn't anonymous either. Bitcoin is also highly subject to government regulation. As the result, market plunges clearly demonstrated following the announcement of China's largest Bitcoin exchanges closing their doors. Liquidation of Bitcoin by Chinese investors are already underway and continue through September 30th. So you had the Chinese crackdown on all these Bitcoin exchanges and everything like that. So Bitconnect and the other one, they're probably just doing it to cover their asses in case they do end up having to face regulation and stuff. I mean, the thing is this article doesn't even write it off. It just says at the end of it, you're going to have this probably crash and be replaced by a JP Morgan government-backed cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's what happens if a bank comes up with its own blockchain.
I mean, and it says they might even be jumping in and artificially bumping it up to crash it. And then
they are doing that. Of course they are.
And then walk in and say, well, we've come up with a foolproof version of that.
No, because I can't give you that, because you could apply that to any market.
Yeah. But here's the problem. As you were saying, the cult following, when you were saying that about these two trading sites, I feel that about Bitcoin in general, because most people don't admit that. They don't admit it's like every other market, like you just did. They think this is the exception, and that this one's going to do well regardless, and it will outshine all of them, and they have so much more confidence in this one than all of the others, and they won't even admit that it's still subject to all the same rules as trading in any other market and stuff. That this is not just a infinite wealth generating, as long as the computers are running, it's just going up and up and up. This is still going to have ups and downs, and it could
you'd be ridiculous to say it's not going to be a very volatile market. But one of the reasons it's such a volatile market is, even though it's still at $9,000, is Mike Adams makes the point that because it's got such a small place in the overall marketplace, small withdrawals, what we would consider a small withdrawal in the overall market, has a giant impact on the price of Bitcoin.
Well, and that's one of his other points in here, is he says, Bitcoin is being promoted as a store of value. And it says, yet it frequently will correct by 30 to 50% in under 48 hours. Basically saying the market's volatile. How can you see this as a store of value when it's a volatile market? It just, you can't have it both ways. Where it can be good for trading and making money and everything like that, but then it's not going to be a safe haven either. Like gold and silver aren't volatile in most cases.
Well, what I think is going on is people are just seeing the price of Bitcoin go up and up and up, and they're buying it and storing it.
Yeah.
And that's going to create a bubble. But if people look at the price, and you get people like Mercedes who are now getting into Bitcoin, and a Lamborghini, then you're on the right tracks, because if you can buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin now. So, I mean, Mercedes are doing something with Bitcoin at the moment. Mercedes-Benz buys a Bitcoin company, and they're starting a payment service with it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I was saying yesterday when I was saying how I think there's been like kind of three booms in it, like the three big, buzz waves. That was the second one, where you started seeing people buying cars with it, and a different
that's what I mean. Now it's a currency. Now
retailers and But again, I think they could just get everyone putting in the infrastructure for it, so then when they take it out and they put in their version of it, they can say.
Because if you look at other headlines, you've got is Amazon preparing to accept bitcoins, and that's from Sky News. So to me, that suggests they probably are.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't.
Amazon buys crypto domains.
It's going to be the one world currency, but it's not going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be some new coin. That's the JP Morgan government one. It'll be the one world currency, and that's the thing though. Everyone doesn't realize they're rushing to sort of put it in place, thinking it's going to be the alternative. I mean, think about it. That's how all this technology works, where you bring it in. It's vampiric. How did we have all this surveillance stuff in the house? We went out and bought it.
Sure, but why would I not want I don't want a one world government or a one world religion, but a one world currency? Why not?
I don't know. I think it depends who's running it. you know, as far as that goes. But I mean, I think you're genius for wanting to get in on it. And you know, this is like all of these people say that everyone looks at as just being evil. They say, you know, there's ways to get rich during crashes. There's ways to know
there's opportunity
when to get in and when to get out, and that's how you're viewing it, very pragmatically and everything like that.
No, I'm not viewing it pragmatically. I think Bitcoin's going to hit $250,000 in 2020. $250,000 is what I'm saying.
It has to get, and this might back what you're saying, it has to get, think about the implications of the idea of, it has to get big enough to be a global crash that fucks up ripple effects everywhere, so that they can come in and say, how do we fix this? One world currency, here we go instead. So, I mean, yeah, it will have to get up to...
Well, not so much that, because if you look at Zimbabwe, a Bitcoin in Zimbabwe, you're probably looking at $17,000.
Yeah.
So if you're in a country like Venezuela, Greece, and you want to get your money out, Bitcoin's... Why not Bitcoin? And the same with people in America, people that are worried, you know, if I want to leave America, how do I get my money out? Bitcoin's a good way of doing that.
Yeah, without all the paperwork and everything like that.
Yeah, if there's some kind of crash, you're out.
If there's currency crash, yeah.
Yeah, like you see in Zimbabwe.
Power grid goes down, you're kind of screwed. That's the...
Yeah, but come on, the power grid goes down. The last you'll worry is going to be your Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah, that's true. Although, I mean, it's, you know, that's why some people still like hard assets, not having all the money digital. But I don't know. I don't think, you know, again, it's going to happen this way. It'd be like trying to tell someone you'd be wrong to use dollars or euros. You know, I'm not saying that at all.
No, but we talked about Bitcoin like way back last year. And if you had put on just, you know, a couple of £100 on Bitcoin, how much money would you have now?
You'd have a ton by now.
Right.
It would have been great to get in on it. I mean, I remember, again, back during, like, what I consider, like, the first wave of it all, when people were like, oh,
Yeah,
look at these little Raspberry Pi machines you can build to run them.
Right.
I mean, but that was when it was still, you could mine it yourself. Like, you didn't need a...
So let's say you could go in a time machine back to Christmas last year, and I go, hey, James, you want to get some Bitcoin? You'd buy some, right?
Yeah, if I knew what I knew now.
Yeah, exactly. So what makes you think that it's going to go down from here on?
Well, because it has to at some point.
Why does it have to?
Because the idea of a infinitely rising, endless money generating thing, it's impractical. Again, that's where it gets into the...
I don't think anyone's saying it's infinite. It's infinite for now. For a good, you know...
Yeah.
Years.
But then the other point, though, is... Like, it's in the 7 questions, you know, if you're holding Bitcoin in hopes of selling it at a higher price, how will you know when to sell it? That's the other, you know, and I mean, I guess if I put in at this time last year and now I saw that, you know, it's up to 9,000 and everything like that, I'd probably be thinking of pulling out now.
Yeah.
But it probably still has a ways to go. Like you said, I think it's going to go way up to the point where when it goes down, it's going to be a problem that people who don't even know what Bitcoin is will feel. Like, I think it's got to get to that point before it starts going down. So we may be talking 2 or 3 years down the line. It may not go down until Trump's out of office, because isn't Kushner in on this technology?
I don't know. I know Richard Branson's getting in on it.
Yeah, all the big names are still getting in, and like I said, it'll be so established that when it does collapse, they can offer a replacement, and the infrastructure will be there for it. That's how I think it's going to pan out. I mean, it might. Who knows? It could even be. I mean, it's going up fast. I think at some point the acceleration might slow down, but it still might continue just up. But I don't know. Mark,
What do you think about these companies like USI Tech and BT and this Bitcoin Connect?
I mean, I think that's probably.
You see how much money people are pulling out of it on YouTube videos?
Yeah,
How much
and I think that's part of what's accelerating the bubbling of it, is that you have so many people now jumping into it. These sites have kind of made it accessible.
Or are they just a hoax? Are they just going to run off with all the Bitcoin? Like, what's stopping USI Tech just running away tomorrow?
I don't know. And I don't know if there's regulations in place to protect people if they did.
No, there's nothing, no.
I mean, Mark Cuban says, he just did a thing where he says, he told Vanity Fair, it's okay to invest up to 10% of your savings in high-risk investments, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. You've just got to be prepared. You've just got to pretend you've already lost your money, he said, adding that it's like throwing the Hail Mary.
I don't think that with Bitcoin as such, but maybe with the trading platforms. Because like you say, you just name your price and walk out when your price hits that price. I don't understand why you'd watch Bitcoin go from 9 grand to 0 and then go, oh shit, I lost all my money.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of fucking retard would do that?
No, I don't think anyone would. But I don't, like I said, I think it's got a ways to go up still. It just, is a high risk investment. I'm not too sure about these other platforms. I mean, I know as far as trading within all the other markets, like when I took that class, they had you download a program and you can just set it to auto trade everything for you. When it starts going in this direction, sell it. When it goes this direction, buy it. If it starts nearing this, get rid of this much. Like, you can just set the whole shit on autopilot. So I'm not surprised that Bitcoin is now heading that direction.
I think the other thing which could really drive Bitcoin through the fucking roof is how many other cryptocurrencies are there now?
Tons.
Well, how many do you think there are? I mean, hundreds?
Yeah.
So why do you need hundreds of crypto coins?
I don't know.
Exactly, I don't know. So I think only one coin's going to make it through. Maybe 3. You might get 3 coins that are going to be in regular use.
Yeah, or, that just ends up being another excuse for government to come through and consolidate it all.
Well, no, I mean, people will just consolidate it themselves, because you got Anthem coin, you got Litecoin, you got Dogecoin, you got Dash coin,
Yeah.
those fucking coins.
I mean,
At
even
some point,
Max
people are
Kaiser
gonna
has
go-
his own coin.
Has it? Yeah, don't surprise me. So at some point, people are going to go, fuck it, let's just trade this in for Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Or Bitcoin
they already
Cash.
do now, I feel like.
Yeah, so that's going to knock the price even more sky high.
Yeah,
Because you're going to have all this consolidation of these 200 other markets all coming in together. I could be talking shit, but I can't see us going into 2019 with 100 different crypto coins.
yeah. The other thing it says that Mike Adams warns of in this, that I think is a valid point too, that's just a point outside of Bitcoin itself and just a way that the government can propagandize and false flag things. It says, once this approved blockchain is rolled out, it won't be long before the government finds a way to criminalize all unapproved blockchains such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. How hard is it for government to criminalize Bitcoin? Not hard at all. It's simple. Matter to run a false flag, dirty bomb operation. The FBI already masterminds and executes terror plots across America. They make sure the bad guys are recruited into the sting operation are fully funded by Bitcoin. A few hours...
That would apply to any movement on the planet.
Yeah.
Or
It says, a few hours later, the fake New York Times will declare Chicago dirty bomb terror plot funded by Bitcoin and the House of Cards falls like dominoes. The entire media will be directed by the CIA to describe Bitcoin as the currency for terrorists, murderers, and drug dealers. And Bitcoin will be targeted exactly the same way the Silk Road was taken down.
So why did that not apply to cash on 9/11? How did they do 9/11 before we had Bitcoin? How did they do the London attacks? How did they... Because they used cash, but cash wasn't demonized, was it?
No, but that's because the CIA didn't have an agenda to demonize cash. I mean,
but I don't think. I think we're giving the public. I know the public is stupid, but they're not that stupid. Go, okay, terrorists use Bitcoin, therefore all people have Bitcoin are terrorists. I don't think the public would fall for that. I think they'd just go, well, they could have done it with cash. And
it goes further. It says a few Bitcoin promoters will be in prison. The government will claim it's fighting terrorism, and they'll start arresting people for using it. They'll criminalize it, basically. I mean, again, I said they could do this towards anything. Just kind of launch a propaganda campaign and say, this is the site for, like, Silk Road was selling everything. Yeah, you could buy anything on it next to, like, you couldn't buy a person, I don't think, but close to it. But, it's very easy for them to just come out and say, this thing is bad, here's the reasons why, it's now a criminal thing, we're going to start arresting people with it. They've done that for marijuana and alcohol prohibition and everything. Like, it's just saying how the government can run a psyop, basically.
Yeah, I'm not giving him that.
I don't, look at how they've got people to react towards guns in America. People think guns kill people, and people don't kill people. I mean, it's not.
You could apply that to anything.
Yeah. It's he's just saying that that's something they could do if they wanted.
They will do that.
But here's the other thing: the people won't buy it. Yeah, the people don't buy 9/11 either. But we still went to war. Like, to some extent, like, what the people think of shit doesn't matter. Like, unfortunately,
I don't know what it was like in the US, but in the UK, everyone told the government, "Fuck off with Iraq." There wasn't any support for it, none.
You guys didn't have the towers go down, though, and that's the thing. People wanted revenge.
No, I think it still had a giant impact on us, because even though it sounds corny, the attack on New York City was an attack on London too, because we share the same values.
I don't know. I think Americans,
I think London took 9/11 just as seriously as what it was in New York. And I think it was the same in America. I can't say because I wasn't there, but I bet you there wasn't many. Actually, let me go. I'll take that back. Maybe there were people saying, "Let's go to war with Iraq."
Yeah, I mean, Saddam Hussein had been propped up as a boogeyman forever. I mean,
in England it was the same. No one was buying it. No, everyone was like, "Oh, fuck it. We're not going to war with Iraq." And then we ended up in war anyway.
I mean, you have to understand sometimes when people are sort of just...
No, in the UK it was massive. Like, I'm not joking. Millions of people marched in London saying, "Fuck this war, no way."
Oh, you had people protesting it here too, but it's still happened.
For England. Yeah, that's what I mean. So
it's so that's what I'm saying. Even look at...
that's what I mean. So there wasn't this idea that they won the minds of the people by doing 9/11 and that we should go to war with Iraq. I don't think that happened. I think they did 9/11. They didn't win the minds of the people through the attack, and they went to war anyway.
Yeah. And that's what he's sort of saying. If they ran out a false flag against Bitcoin, that's what they would do. They would start locking up key figures and making it known, like, this is criminal now. If you're using this, we'll, arrest you or whatever. You better hope it's transparent. Like, you better hope, our NSA, whatever, isn't monitoring your keystrokes. But I don't know.
I don't see how they could stop it. I don't see how they could stop it anyway.
I'll tell you, they have a hard time stopping music and everything else being traded online. It really seems like the internet
They
has.
do not stand a chance of Bitcoin stopping that. That's why I laugh at that China stuff when they go, they're going to outlaw China and they're going to outlaw Bitcoin in China. Well, the question should be how.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they going to do it? But seriously, how the fuck are they going to do it? They can make it awkward.
I mean, you can.
At best, they can make it awkward. They can't stop it. No way.
Because in China, I think you can already use certain like VPN programs to kind of get
Oh
around
shit, maybe that might be.
the internet firewall and stuff. So I mean, you just have to do all your trading in a VPN, telling your network you're actually in Norway or something.
Yeah, or just go on holiday with your Bitcoin wallet on your phone. That's all you need. It's just a phone. No, you could do it via email, couldn't you?
Probably.
Yeah, you could, because you could put your Bitcoin. I don't want to get technical, but because when you use WinRAR files and stuff like that, you could get a photo and then put the Bitcoin in the photo as a compressed file. And then when you send the photo, as long as you know the file's in there, you could pull the, like you saw with the Pizzagate, they had those massive photos which are massive in file length.
Yeah.
The file was really big. So they thought they contained more. Do you remember that in Pizzagate? They
Yeah,
had those
yeah.
photos, and they're like, these images are huge. Well, that would apply to Bitcoin to get it out. I could just send you a photo. And as long as you knew why I was sending you that photo, you could deconstruct the photo and pull the Bitcoin out. That's what I mean. Good luck fucking stopping it. Good luck.
Yeah.
You can. You can make an example out of people and you can do this war against it, but you can't stop it. I think it's the same as the war on drugs in many ways. Yeah, you can have a war against drugs, not going to stop drugs. In fact, it'll probably just make it more profitable to do.
Oh man. You know what's funny? This is a little side note, but have you seen all the stuff online about soy boys? This new term, and now you have people claiming they're proud soy boys. How
I never heard of it until Paul Joseph Watson came out.
Yeah, I had been seeing little things, and I mean Faith Goldie did that news report on it. I feel like forever ago. I really love her. She's really great.
So would you put any money on Bitcoin yourself?
At this point, if I had money, I probably would, but my money is stupid right now. I think I worked like one day this week. I mean, I'm starting a second job, so maybe I will, hopefully soon. But I mean, yeah, it'd definitely be worth, especially if there's sites where you don't need much to sign up. It'd definitely be worth putting $100 in it or
what I would
so.
say is I've been looking at Bitcoin for quite a while, trying to work out how to earn Bitcoin. I wouldn't recommend to anyone they go on USI Tech or they go on Bitconnect, because I can't validate them. I think you're taking a giant risk. Yeah, people are getting returns on it, but it's worth if you want to take that risk. I've just sent you a link now for Coinbase, and what Coinbase is it's just a platform where you can just buy your Bitcoin. You can have your wallet online if you want. You shouldn't really have it online, but it's okay for small amounts of money. And if you go on there now using the link that we've got, if you buy $100 of Bitcoin, you get $10 free.
Yeah, I mean the thing I wonder is like with those two sites, if you just put money in it and you don't really try to sign up other people, how much will you make? Like, is there more money to be made in the signing up of people
Coinbase doesn't do any of that shit. Coinbase is just a place to buy Bitcoin and walk out. That's all they do. So it's probably one of the biggest ones. They got quite high fees to buy Bitcoin and to transfer your Bitcoin. When you buy Bitcoin, I think you've got to forget about getting that into your bank account for a while, because it's fucking hard. It's quite tricky. But if you think Bitcoin's going to explode, for $100 you get $10 free, and then I get $10 as well. So not only do you get $10, I get $10 free. And like I say, it's an online wallet. You just keep it's got all the price charts on there, so you can just see what it's worth in money terms. And like I've made quite a bit of money on it.
Yeah.
And that's not signing anybody up. That's just buying Bitcoin back in October and watching it just shoot up.
Hmm.
And you've
Yeah.
got like a 10% buffer there. I think $100 is a fair amount to put on Bitcoin.
Yeah. I think probably by the end of the holidays, I'll probably put a couple $100 in, and then who knows, maybe I'll just give it till, I mean, they would always say, try to, when with trading, try to give yourself a time period and be like, I'm gonna see where it's at in a couple months
Yeah, definitely.
or a
Yeah.
year or so. I mean, I might even, maybe I'll even put in like, can you have multiple wallets?
You have as many as you like. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll do two, and I'll be like, all right, here's what I'm putting in, and I'm gonna see where it's at my birthday, because if it continues going up and up and up and up, it might be a little extra more than I put in, and then have another one where I'm just like, this one I'm gonna leave in for a year, see where it's at then, and then decide to take it out or leave it in longer.
Well, the other reason it can be good is because we don't earn any money doing this. It's a great way to get donations quickly.
Yeah.
It's good for your audience because, like I say,
Well,
each
and
person
especially getting a wallet too now for the show would be good, because I feel like, or we can just put your address in there. Because you have people where if they put in money a few months ago, well, now they've just made a ton of money, so they might.
Yeah, it's free money to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is if you've got confidence in Bitcoin and people haven't brought it that's buying it, you need to buy it from somewhere online, right? So Coinbase is really reputable, and I don't see why that can't be a good plug for our show.
Yeah.
Because I get $10, you get $10. You don't. It's not like a Ponzi scheme. You just go in there, buy your Bitcoin, and most people will just chuck it into their personal wallet that they've got on their computer. Personally, I just leave it online because I've only got like $100 in there. But that's how I came across it. I was asking, where's the best place to buy Bitcoin now? My mate says, I use this site. And if you buy $100, I get $10, and you get $10. I was like, chuck it over now. It's just a no-brainer of a deal. It's free Bitcoin. And that's the other thing that's good. You could be really sneaky about this, and you could actually upload, that's what I was thinking, we could actually upload a YouTube video once a week where the title is Bitcoin Giveaway. I know it's a bit clickbaity, but yeah, you just get people to sign up via Coinbase. You put $100 and you get $10 free. It's a Bitcoin giveaway. It's free Bitcoin. And that's a great tagline to get people looking at that Coinbase. I mean, Coinbase looks pretty legit to me. If you can use your debit card and credit card on there, then you're covered, aren't you? Your credit card's insured.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all legit. They've got their wiki page all looks above board to me. It's not like Bitconnect or USI Tech. We've got no idea who these fuckers are. They're not regulated. They could just run away in a second. Coinbase can't run anywhere really.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. Coinbase.
I just think it's great for a podcast. Like, I don't want people to steal my idea, but why would you not do a YouTube video once a week, just saying, hey, free Bitcoin giveaway, this is Coinbase, this is Bitcoin, talk about Bitcoin for 10 minutes, and then plug that link, that Coinbase link. And if 3 people signed up a week, you're taking $30 Bitcoin.
Coinbase is doing
nothing.
They're doing good too, as far as in the news. Yeah. And yeah,
totally legit. I would happily. That's why I'm worried about USI Tech and Bitconnect. Because if I'm honest, I can't even go to people I don't know. I could easily go to your audience and say, USI Tech's legit, it's the best thing in the world, make all this money, join my cult, and I would make a lot of money on that. But if it goes wrong, I've got to live with that. And I think it could go wrong. I think USI Tech, Bitconnect, and these trading platforms could definitely go wrong. I would never tell you to put your money on there. And unless you're in a situation that you've already got Bitcoin and $100 to you isn't $100, that makes sense because you paid at $800 and now it's $8,000, so 100 Bitcoin to you is nothing. Then yeah, have a look at some trading platforms. It's worth a gamble. But if you just want to buy Bitcoin and make the money off the Bitcoin, I think Coinbase really is the perfect product for you.
Yeah, I'm probably
You see
gonna
they're covered on
sign up right now. Yeah, I'm looking
Fortune.com.
Bloomberg and yeah, Wall Street
Like I say,
Journal.
if you use my link and buy $100, you get 10% free straight away. I get $10. And if you could get 3 people a week to watch your video and say, hey, you know, I could do $10 free Bitcoin, you're hitting $30 of Bitcoin a week. You know, a month that's $100. Then again, if you'd done that last year, we'd be rich.
Yeah.
And your friends can do the same. Like once they buy the $10 of Coinbase, they get their own link, just like I've got, and you can recommend it to your friends, and then that $10 goes to you. So you can nick my. Does that make sense? You can carry on your own little pyramid system.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think you're gonna have any conscious problems that that's gonna go down or they're gonna disappear. All I would say is, if you've got more than $100 on there, get your own wallet on your own computer and just learn how to back up your wallet.
Yeah, you have all these articles about them saying they have more users right now than like Charles Schwab and all sorts of like other trading platforms. Hedge fund services with storage service.
I think it could be great for a YouTube channel. That's what I would do. Because, I mean, I'm sure there are people that go on YouTube, that I do it, that just search Bitcoin giveaway. You know, and you type in the comments, put your Bitcoin wallet, and we'll give you some free Bitcoin. So they get their subscribers. They get a lot of subscribers. It's a great way to get subscribers. But instead of us giving you the Bitcoin, you buy your own Bitcoin, you get your $10, and then do what we've done. Like talk to people and say, hey, I got $10 free on Bitcoin. And then if someone else does the same, you get another $10. And I think that's going to add up when you watch Bitcoin just go through the fucking roof.
Yeah, Coinbase is definitely looking like the one to go with.
Yeah, especially if you're into online gambling. I mean, you leave that in there for 3 months, and then your Bitcoin's worth more. So you've got $100, you've got your $10 free, and then let's say it goes up enough to earn another $20. You can just gamble your profit at Bitcoin gambling sites.
Yeah, I guess they're opening what they're calling Coinbase Custody, which is for institutional investors. So they're looking to bring in big money now. So that's definitely going to
Yeah, they've been around for a good 5 years now. They look
keep
pretty
this
legit.
this thing
Their
going.
headquarters are in San Francisco, California, so it's not the greatest place to commit fraud, is it?
Well, I mean, that's where all the tech stuff is at, though.
Yeah.
All the tech companies are out in San Francisco.
And like I said, I wouldn't do any of this Bitconnect shit. I wouldn't do any of this USI tech stuff until that Bitcoin goes up in value, that $50 that USI Tech wants is free money. Does that make sense? You earn that for free. Then it's worth putting that money on USI Tech and getting your 1% growth on the Bitcoin. And then, yeah, you can start making some proper money.
Word. Well, anything else? We're almost at 2 hours
Buy
here.
some Bitcoin, you fucking muppets. And then, yeah, then you've got your own, if you do sign up, then you've got your own Bitcoin wallet, so you can start asking for your own donations.
Yeah. Put that in with all the links.
So yeah, I think it could be a good little money spinner for everyone. Everyone's a winner. And yes, you're right about Bitcoin being a bubble and you lose $100.
Yeah, and $100 loss isn't.
But I mean, how
if you
much?
can't afford to lose $100, you shouldn't be investing anyway.
I think you're going to be okay with Bitcoin because you can check the Bitcoin price every day. Like if it's at, what is it now? You've got quite a long way for that to drop until you lose your money. So you think if it went down by like $1,000, if you've only got $100 invested, how much do you actually lose? Like a couple of pounds at most?
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. That's true.
Like I say, I wish I did it back last year. Because now that's why I'm using these platforms like a USI Tech and Bitconnect, is because I'm so behind. I missed the boat basically. It's my way of trying to catch up quick,
Yeah.
which is probably a bit. I regret it now.
I'm reading an article now about how the far right is relishing in its power as Merkel has destroyed Germany. I hear Sweden's a mess too nowadays.
Sweden's gone.
Yeah.
I think there's some kind of Antifa march there today, and they killed a police horse.
Yeah, I saw that actually. How ridiculous. How do you kill a police horse?
I thought lives matter and all that stuff.
Alright, well, should we
That's it.
wrap things up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to. Yeah, I'm just going to end up ranting about Bitcoin.
Nah.
I'm just amazed by that offer that Coinbase put out there. I just think it's a brilliant way to get in.
Yeah. It seems easy enough, too.
So that's what I mean. If you do $100, then you get your own link. You see, it says refer friends. You just click refer friends, and it gives you the link that I sent you. And that's linked to your Bitcoin wallet address. And anyone that signs up using your link, you get $10. And they paid me, like it went in there. And then if anyone does need help, I mean, I'm quite a nice guy. You can find me on Facebook. Just give me a Facebook video chat. And the same if you want to know about Bitconnect and USI Connect and you want me to go in detail as to what it all is really about, I'm happy to do that. But I've got a feeling Bitconnect and USI might run away with the money. Because it could just be like these companies doing it. How do you know it's not MI5 running that company?
Yeah. You don't.
And that's why they're able to do all these conferences and no one's shutting them down. And that might be how they've got an exit. Because especially if you did set it up, and let's face it, USI Tech and Bitconnect probably are illegal. They probably are. So why wouldn't MI5 and go, oh, hey, you're running an illegal business here. You either work with us or you go to jail, you little fucking cocksucker.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do in that situation?
You work with them.
Right.
And hope they don't end up taking you out at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you're fucked either way, aren't you?
Huh? Yeah,
And
yeah.
then not only that, they've got a system where they can get your photo, a digital photo of you for facial recognition with your passport and your bank details. And again, I don't think you get that problem. You're going to have that problem with Coinbase. I mean, maybe they might have to share that data with the government like any other company, but
I see there's an open letter from a bunch of student union groups to try to have Jordan Peterson removed from college. This is the other reason why, the trans issues bother me so much, because did you see the thing with the chick at Laureate University, the secret recorded talk?
no, I didn't pay attention to it, no.
Oh, yeah. I guess she showed one of his clips and was just having the class discuss it, and she got brought in and, scolded by 3 of the faculty for even showing someone talking about it. And she's like, I'm exposing the people to ideas that are out there in the world. She's like, Jordan Peterson's a real person. Like, how can I just pretend he doesn't exist and have an honest conversation about this stuff? And then they were like, basically was like, well, Jordan Peterson, it's like playing a lecture from Hitler. And it's like, are you fucking kidding? Like, and is this the thing? Like, now we're going to teach classes where we're going to be like, Hitler's bad, but you can't hear anything he had to say? That makes people think that people are right about things. When you go to someone and you say, this person's wrong about absolutely everything, don't trust them, don't listen to them, that's what they say about Alex Jones. And that's what makes people listen to him.
Yeah, well, I think more people are reading. I mean, Mein Kampf is probably a bestseller at the moment.
Who? Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's only because it's so relative to what's going on.
Yeah. And I mean, they make it look cool by the way they handle Richard Spencer and stuff. But anyway, let's not get back into all that. So I can just cut the video in half and have the Bitcoin half and the other half and do it in 2 parts.
Yeah. And they even throw in there, like, free Bitcoin in the title.
All right.
I don't see why not. It's much more honest than what these other fucks are doing, going, come subscribe to me on USI Tech, come on Bitconnect, it's all safe, join my little cult. So that's safer than what those dickheads are doing.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
right.
Let's get going. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, cool, man.
All right.
See you soon.
Later.
Bye.